With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back! Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Swift Motorsports hits the famed high-banked high speeds here at Daytona International Speedway for the Daytona 200. That's right, 80 laps around this 2.5-mile super speedway tucked in down here on the Florida coast, Daytona Beach, Daytona, USA. I'm telling you what, beautiful place to go, beautiful place to be. Glad you could all join us here tonight How you doing out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all be here tonight. Darkside Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from the trackside here tonight. Qualifying already underway. Jim Thorndike, quick time right now, 29:39 for Thorndike. Kevin Burrows close, but no cigar right there just behind him. We'll throw some of that qualifying information up for you real fast, like there. You can see it on your screen right there on the left-hand side. Coming into tonight's race number 7 of the season here, and we got to ask ourselves, can Todd McGregor make it back to victory lane once again here tonight, make it back-to-back victories? We have seen that trend play out over the first 6 races. First 3 races going to Michael Atkins Jr., the next 2 in the back pocket of John McMillan Jr., winning back-to-back, and now Todd Cray, victory lane. Last time he was on the track, qualifying just about over with. There you can see final few seconds ticking off the clock, and nobody gonna have anything for that 59 of Jim Thorndike, walking away with the pole position here tonight. With all that being said, we'll go ahead and get rid of that graphic for you, and we'll head through a little official business while we've got ourselves a little bit of time coming into tonight's race number 7 here in Swift Motorsports season number 2, the Daytona 200. Jason Branch leading those points, Todd McGregor close behind, Andy Starcher, Larry Poling, Jim Thorndike rounding out the top 5 in the points, coming into what's pretty much a crapshoot for a lot of these drivers, and a lot of these drivers expressed that at the end of last week's races here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, your home for Swift Motorsports. And with all that being said, looks like drivers heading towards their vehicles, gonna get ready to hop on in. So with that being said, race fans, we're gonna step away for just a brief commercial break, head down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly struck.
Drivers beginning to get to their starting spots. Looks like we're ready to fire things off for the first time here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway. There you can hear music going in the background. It's time to give you your starting lineup for tonight's Daytona 200 here from Daytona International Speedway. There you can see track temperature very cool under the lights here tonight, just 71 degrees. Cool breeze rolling off of the ocean across this track. Gonna keep the speeds high and the action hot. Your starting grid for tonight's race number 7 in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series, sponsored by Swift MotorSports here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Starting inside row number 1, your pole sitter here tonight, the 59 of Jim Thorndike. Just to his outside, slotted outside pole position, the 23 of Kevin Burrows. Inside row number 2, the 28 of Ron Schutte. 71 of Todd McGregor will line up in that 4th spot, and rounding out your top 5 here tonight in the Daytona 200, the 31 of Donald Bennett. Just to his outside, the 63 of Marshall Scully. Inside row number 4, the 22 of Jason Branch. Greg Deitchen, the one gonna start just to his outside. Inside row number 10, the 2 of Shane Bliss, followed by the 6 of Ryan Branchew. Starting in the 11th position here tonight, the 17 of Cody Brown, followed by the 20 of Chad Lancaster. 13th spot goes to the 19 of Andy Starcher. Roy Fernandez gonna slot in the 14th spot. 15th place, John McMillan Sr. Jr. just to his outside in that 16th spot. Gary Wells and Larry Poling round out the starting lineup here tonight for the Daytona 200 field double file, making their way off of turn number 4, ready to go. Green flag racing for the first time here tonight. Pace truck gonna get down and away. Field rolls to the restart box. Flagman's got it. Green flag flies. On the gas and up through the gears here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. There you can see a few drivers jockeying for some spots already. A little bit of a connection issue right there for, I believe, that was the 71, I believe. A little bit of connection issues, blinking just a little bit. Field looks to already get to the bottom lane, and down to the bottom goes Jason Branch. Looks like Branch doesn't want anything to do with the front of this field anytime soon. Your top 3 drivers beginning to break away all the way at the bottom of the raceway. Breakaway goes away just like that. It's that quick. It's restrictor plate racing here in the AYERS iRacing Arca Menards Series for Swift MotorSports. Top 2 gonna cross the line to complete lap number 1. That GTR simulator, piloted by Jim Thorndike, looks to lead a handful of laps here tonight, already putting a point in his back pocket for leading that first lap, already putting more points in his back pocket for snatching that qualifying position, that pole position here tonight. Outside lane now beginning to move with Cody Brown at the front, has Marshall Scully tucked in behind him. That run's going to come to a fizzle as the 23 looks to close the gap. Kevin Burrows looking to come try to help. 63's got a spot, but not going to drop down. Going to stay loyal to that high side. We stay side by side. Top 3 to 4 rows as they cross the line to begin lap number 3 out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. That's right, folks, 80 laps, 200 miles around this super speedway here tonight. Looks like most of the drivers willing and content to sit at the bottom of the speedway for a number of laps. Only 4 drivers up on that outside lane. Looks like everybody else willing to just kind of hang out, chill out, log some laps here, but a few drivers not really wanting to be in all of that checkup or checkupness, however you want to say it. That inside lane is known to stall out quite a bit when you're 3rd, 4th, 5th in line. You got to be way out of the gas because you close in just so fast. And a lot of times drivers just jump to that outside lane just to try to avoid having to do that. But the more cars you stack up on that outside lane, the more you're going to have to do the same thing that inside lane is doing. And you can see it right there. Drivers maintaining about a half of a car distance in between the bumper and the nose of the cars. Don't quite line up quite perfectly, so it's a little harder to push in these cars than you actually think it would be. So drivers keeping a little bit of a gap right now, not really pushing the envelope about pushing right now. Bump drafting not really on the radar as that outside lane begins to fizzle out. Now just 2 drivers stuck on that outside lane. The 17 of Cody Brown still has his help with him. Marshall Scully not dropping away. He's staying right there with the run. And now the 2 machine looks to make his way up through the field just a little bit. Shane Bliss trying to become that 3rd car in the outside lane. And there's a 4th driver right back there as well coming to help out. Right off of turn number 2, I believe that is that 20 of Chad Lancaster. Drivers towards the rear of the field already beginning to get spread out just a little bit. There you can see Jason Branch. And that 22 machine struggling just a little bit with his connections. It looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with that. We'll jump back here. There you can see the last drivers in line. John McMillan Sr., Jr., Larry Poling rounding out the field in that 16th spot. Still trying to battle for that top spot at the front of the field. Cody Brown trying to make that outside lane work and just not having very much success as of yet. And it looks like these 3 drivers willing to give up a little track position, a little track time here early in the going to try to keep themselves out of harm's way. If something should happen, they should have enough time to make whatever maneuvers they're going to have to make in order to miss the accident. Sometimes that works out for you, and sometimes it doesn't. You find yourself up in it anyways. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out back at the front, though. There you can see your top 3 drivers all still nose to tail, hugging that double yellow line. That yellow line is your best friend here at Daytona as well as Talladega. Drivers not able to go beneath that double yellow line, as there you can see almost sticking his nose in. Excuse me. Ryan Branchy almost sticking the nose of that 6 machine down underneath the 31 of Donald Bennett. Bennett is running that beautiful Turn 3 Arch sponsored K&N machine out there tonight. Looking beautiful. I may be impartial, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, how could you not love that? I mean, look at it. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Outside lane beginning to give way a little bit more now. They have fallen back to the 19 of Andy Starcher. So your top 4 able to break away from the field. And Ryan Branchew looks like he's ready to go somewhere. He's getting a little pushy, a little testy here. Lap number 9 out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Drivers a little bit squirrely at the front of this field, moving around quite a bit. And with that happening, that 17's able to gain some ground, get that momentum back working in his favor. Marshall Scully still tucked in behind him with Chad Lancaster, now that 3rd car, joining the fight on that outside lane. And I tell you what, race fans, while we've got a chance, while we've got an opportunity, why don't we head down trackside for a little bit of early sights and sounds, close up and personal here tonight with our Daytona International Super Speedway Turn It Up. And man, oh man, what a group of close racing shots here tonight. Provided to you by everybody back at the Turn 3 headquarters. Appreciate all the hard work that goes in behind the scenes. Each and every one of you back at the headquarters doing everything to provide these great sights and sounds here tonight from Daytona International Speedway for Swift Motorsports. AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series. It's the Daytona 200. Battle at the front of the field has not went away under our entire Turn It Up segment. We had drivers mixing it up at the front, but still not able to take that top spot away. Cody Brown trying to make that outside lane work, and Marshall Scully, drivers take notice. That is a pusher right there. That 63 has hung with the 17 since They jump to that outside lane, and he has almost pushed him clear multiple times. There are multiple drivers down there on that inside lane, keeping those two AYERS iRacing Arca Menards series machines just behind them. Big moment there for Donald Bennett, hitting that apron up the track right beside Scully, just in front of Starcher. As we take a look from our turn 3 drone cam here, as the 59, your race leader Jim Thorndike crosses the line. Another lap in the back pocket for Thorndike. We begin lap number 17 out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. No fast repairs, no stages. Good old-fashioned racing at its finest here in Swift Motorsports. Keep an eye out for things coming your way. Swift Motorsports here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We're going to be right back in the 63 into the outside wall. Scully falling through the field big time. He's lost everything that he had all the way back now in that 14th position and in danger of falling all the way to the tail end. He's going to have to try to grab a hold of that 69, otherwise Scully is going to have some trouble. Looks like he very well may have just enough to sniff a little bit of the draft on that 69 and keep himself somewhat in touch with the field right now. Scored about 2.8 seconds back from your race leader. That could have been a lot worse. But as I was saying just before all of that went down, race fans, no fast repairs, no stages here in Swift Motorsports, and look for some big things throughout the rest of the week. Daytona Speed Weeks here for Swift Motorsports, and jumping to the outside goes the 6 of Ryan Branchew. He's going to cut right across the nose of Cody Brown, trying to take over the lead of that outside lane. Let's see if Branchew can get by Thorndike. Thorndike's not having it, not hearing it. The 59 and 28 stay tucked up right as they have been the entire race so far here tonight. Donald Bennett still sitting right there in that 5th position where he started tonight's race, has not left that bottom lane, and it looks like that is the lane to be in. As some drivers towards the rear of the field, looks like they begin to have a few more of those takers falling back into their little pack. Your top 11 drivers all still within that 1 second race distance from your race leader. That time by Ryan Branchew gets the point for leading a lap here. So drivers able to take the top spot at the line or through some point in time on the track, but not able to quite clear that inside lane. And I'm telling you, it is going to take quite a run and quite a bit of wound up energy for that outside lane to truly work. You're going to have to pull a big move, because once you've got 3 or 4 cars lined up on the inside lane, these AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards series machines just don't quite have that power to finally pull off that pass. And a quarter of the way through tonight's race, we have been clean and green since the drop of the green flag here tonight. Jim Thorndike looking to dominate this race. Thorndike, not typically one of the drivers you see here in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards series. Or scratch that, I should say Thorndike just inside the top 5 here. Oh my goodness, and hard impact. Donald Bennett caught up. John McMillan Jr. caught up as well. We'll take a look back here, see what happened and see how it all went down. Oh, and Bennett up the track right across the nose of the 2. Shane Bliss, and carnage, chaos, mayhem unfolds. We'll take one more look at it here, see how it went down. There you see that contact, and that's all it takes, just a little bit of a wiggle right there by that 31, right across the nose of the 2, and that is all she wrote. Drivers heavily damaged right there. We'll take one more look at this from the cockpit if we can. If we can get that queued up, they're saying, yeah, go ahead. Here it is. Just barely across the nose. Donald Bennett slides up the track, catches the left front of the two, and Shane Bliss and Bennett both suffer after that one. So back live with your race leader at the front of the field, Jim Thorndike, as we come to a crawl for the first time here tonight. Caution number 1 comes out on lap number 21. Donald Bennett as well as Shane Bliss both caught up and involved in this one. They are your only 2 drivers caught up and involved, but it looks like most of the field will come down and get those 4 fresh tires and fuel. The Macmillan clan, yeah, I called them a clan. They're out there, junior and senior, out there on the track. They're going to stay out, try to get a lead lap. That's going to go leaps and bounds to try to help John out. John trying to make his way up through the point standings, not quite listed inside the top 10 just yet. 2 race wins on the season, coming in a little bit late after the first, I believe, 2 or 3 races, missing those first couple. Macmillan Jr. has been on a tear with those 2 race wins, and just trying to get all he can as far as the points are concerned, because we're right at the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen. 15 races in this season for Swift Motorsports, AYERS iRacingPaints, Arca Menards series. So race number 7 underway. Only 8 more races to go. Drivers going to be scratching, clawing, and fighting for everything they can. You know, looks like we have a few drivers that just missed their pit boxes. Andy Starcher, Chad Lancaster, both of those drivers went down pit road, but neither one of them made a pit stop. Pretty interesting little deal there. We'll have to wait and see what Starcher and Lancaster do this time by. Will that 15 and 75 head down to pit road this time by? Lights still on. It's still open if they want to come. And it looks like indeed those top 4 drivers are going to hit pit road this time by. And we've got red lights down there on the pit road access, or the entrance to pit road, I should say. Very questionable call here. And as those drivers make their way into their pit boxes, we'll jump back up front once again with your race leader, Jim Thorndike, for fresh tires and fuel. Or actually, it does look like just maybe right sides and fuel only for Thorndike, only in his pit box. 8.9 seconds. An 8.2 second stop was the fastest stop. That goes to the 23 crew of Kevin Burrows, but he still loses 3 spots heading down pit road that time. So interesting to see some of these drivers gaining and losing with a 2-tire or fuel only call. And it does indeed look like house cleaning needed here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Donald Bennett, Shane Bliss, both after being caught up in that last and only on-track incident. Looks like both of those drivers beginning to push their machines behind pit wall, so an early exit for both Bennett and Bliss. Chevy Silverado pace truck gets ready to duck off. Field in the hands of your race leader, Thorndike on the gas. Green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Top 2 begin to break away from the field just a hair as Schutte and Burrows try to gain a little bit of ground. We've seen that 23 jump to the high side a few times in that first run. not able to really do much with it. Now the 17 of Cody Brown, we've seen him out there on that outside lane. We know Brown is willing to run that high side for as long as it takes to get to the front. There you can see him tucked in right behind that 23 of Kevin Burrows. Down on the inside, Thorndike still leading that inside lane as Ryan Branchew just behind him. The 28 of Ron Schutte back there, third car inside lane. That iHeart Radio 28, and indeed the Macmillan clan hit with a pit road violation coming down pit road when it was closed. Those red lights caught the Macmillan clan out. Looks like they're going to fall off the pace quite a bit. They're going to need a caution to catch back up to the field. That is for sure. Green flag still underway as only 2 cars brave that outside. Everyone else down to the bottom of the speedway, nose to tail, nice little gaps. Nice uniform looking pack on the inside lane. 4th car down there, I believe that is the 22 of Jason Branch. Looks like he's struggling a little bit, wiggling and wobbling, as I like to call it. And that's nothing more than the air here tonight. That's just the air coming off these cars. Get some a little tail happy, a little nose happy, if you will. Every now and again, you cross over between oversteer and understeer. When you're tucked in right behind somebody, you got to be careful on that entry that the nose doesn't get a little too light. Entry and exits while being in a heavy draft, being in a close draft, very different from what you may imagine. It's not the rear end of the car getting light for you. It's the nose of the car kind of just not having any steering. And oh my goodness, into the outside wall hard. Who was that going across the track? My goodness. Trying to catch who that was. I believe that was the one of Greg Deitch. Yes, indeed it was. There you can see some heavy damage on that machine. We'll try to jump to one of our screenshots here. See if we can't get a view of that damage on the one of that Pepsi car. There you can see it. That is definitely going to hurt the aero on that machine. He is definitely going to be slow and going to have to come to pit road, but gonna try to soldier on as much as he can. And oh my goodness, right in front of, oh my gosh, driver caught up in that. Oh my God, I do not know what happened to John McMillan Jr. and Sr., but both of them spinning. We'll take a look here. Both of them spinning down there on the bottom of the track. One more look at it, because this goes on forever. And here you can see that 75 trying to save it, trying to keep it clear and clean. And oh, right in front of some of the lead lap drivers, right into the left front. Oh my goodness. That is big time there. Try to see if we can see who this is coming through here. And I believe it's Chad Lancaster. Yes, it is. Chad Lancaster just gets blasted there at the end. Tough break for Lancaster. His left front all tore up now. After that one, we'll jump back up front with your race leader once again. Still that 59 of Jim Thorndike Field. Catches back up to the tail end of that Chevy Silverado pace car. Quick cautions here tonight have us woed once again here. Multiple drivers caught up in that one. Both of the McMillan caught up in it, as well as pretty much an innocent bystander there. Chad Lancaster just nowhere to go. Rips the left front off of his 20 machine. So multiple drivers going to be caught up and out of tonight's race. And it looks like both John McMillan Jr. and McMillan Sr. both already on the hook and headed back behind a pit wall. Pit road is open this time by. Doesn't look like we really have too many takers. Ryan Branchew looks like he's going to go ahead and come in now. The okie doke begins. Kevin Burrows going to stay out on track. Marshall Scully in the 63 also going to stay out on track. Everyone else comes down pit road. And with all that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. We'll head back trackside for all your green flag action live here from Daytona International Speedway.
The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Gotta be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing!
Lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways.
saved it!
What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Menards drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And back trackside as promised, as the field gets double file heading into turn number 3, ready to go back green flag racing once again under caution for the second time here tonight. That caution came out between contact with the 15 and 75, catching the 20 of Chad Lancaster out just a little bit. You can see Lancaster as well as the one of Deitch, who was into the outside wall hard. Both of those drivers towards the rear of the field. Green flag flies as Burrows nails the gas and scoots away from the field. Not quite so sure an early jump on the field is exactly what you want here at a restrictor plate track. Thorndike stuck all alone, solo on the high side. There you can see Marshall Scully. He jumps to the outside. The 17 of Cody Brown also jumps to that outside. Now the 63 drops back to the bottom once again. Brown gonna take over that outside lane once again. He is no stranger to the front of that outside lane. We have seen that 17 pretty much there the entire night so far, but a new pusher right behind him, that 59 of Jim Thorndike, now listed as 3rd or 4th depending on where the scoring stripe is, as the 63 takes over the lead on that bottom side. staying out last time by was that 63 of Marshall Scully. Scully having a little bit better of a go at it than Kevin Burrows. Burrows right there stuck. Second car inside lane. He was your race leader for this third restart, and Burrows not having a good jump. And that 63 goes right around 3 wide for the race lead. Thorndike splits him right through the center. The 71 tried to follow suit, but wasn't there. There you see 3 wide once again at the front of this field. The 71 keeping it right in that center lane. Todd McGregor making his way to the front. He doesn't want to lift right now. He's coming to the 8 of the 59 of Thorndike. 2 and 3 wide at the front of the field. Drivers mixing it up. About halfway through tonight's race, we're going to close that halfway mark here in the next 5 to 6 laps. And into the outside wall, Cody Brown scrapes down the right side of his machine. Gonna slow that roll just a little bit. The top 2 drivers on that outside lane trying to make that run, but Thorndike cannot get it done even with the help of Todd McGregor. Now here comes Chad Lancaster. He's going to try to help that outside lane once again, and Thorndike looking to lead yet another lap. Not going to get there that time by. Scully going to grab that lap. Thorndike able to take the lead, drop to the bottom, but he's going to leave McGregor high and dry on that outside lane. Chad Lancaster trying to come to the 8 of that 71, and slowly but surely the 17 of Cody Brown trying to make his way back from the back once again. Starcher in the 19, that familiar Monster Energy AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine jumps to the high side for just a minute outside of Branchu. Now looking for a little bit of draft help with the 17. Not going to have it just yet. Your top 2 drivers still battling for supremacy, battling for that top spot. The 71 fighting back hard after being left high and dry by that 59, trying to take the high lane, and now he's going to drop down right across Thorndike's nose. New race leader down into turn number 3, the 71 of Todd McGregor. And after challenging for the race lead on this last little green flag run that we're underway right now, that 17 was into the outside wall, lost a ton of momentum, lost a ton of ground. Seeing the driver stay on that outside lane, he grabbed some draft and headed back to the front of the field once again. That 17 is back inside the top 5, running in the 4th position. Second car outside lane, and can Todd McGregor keep that top spot? Will Chad Lancaster drop down? He's going to do so. Take over the lead of the race now. New race leader. I believe that is about our 6th different race leader here tonight. Lancaster to the front of the field. Can he keep the lap at the line? Gonna do so. Point for Lancaster, up 11 positions from where he started tonight's race. A heck of a run. Still having some of those connection issues back towards the rear of the field. That 22 of Jason Branch continues to smoke and do a little magic show back there. I'm pretty sure Larry Poling a little bit sketched out by that. We'll take a look back here at Poling and see what he sees from his driver's seat. We're going to head down now on board with the Quaker State 69. Poling just kind of hanging out back here, just kind of keeping the draft there. You can see him. He is not looking to move forward right now. Out of the gas, just kind of, as I said, just kind of hanging out, trying to keep it cool, keep it close. There you can see some of that magical disappearing act. Larry Poling with some issues and trouble. And oh my goodness, I think we may have had our first engine pop here. That 71 has had some trouble. We'll have to take a look back here at that 71. Everything looks clean on that Mountain Dew AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine. And he is not going to duck to pit road, so maybe just a little too hot running up there near the front of the field, and he is falling back fast. Almost in danger of losing the draft here, and that is pretty much going to put an end to your race. You lose the draft, and you're going to need a caution. And yes, indeed, I believe that engine may be damaged just 100. And well, no, he's got the engine 190 miles an hour. Looks like he's going to be all right. Back towards the front of the field, though, will join your race leader. New race leader once again. Ron Schutte gonna pilot that iHeartRadio 28 machine to the line, lead a lap, get a point here tonight. That's gonna be our 7th or 8th different race leader so far here tonight. So drivers not scared to mix it up, drivers not scared to go and try to grab that top spot. And we're finally seeing that outside run really begin to work. If you can get lined up on that outside lane, get a pretty decent push, you can find yourself being pushed right to the front of the field. Now here comes Branchew with help from Thorndike. Brown jumps to the outside just in front of Scully. That's a duo that we've seen work very well together. And there you can see Branchew pushed by Thorndike. Now Thorndike with a big shove on his rear bumper by the 17 of Brown. Brown trying to make his way back into that lead of that outside lane. Thorndike already clear, gonna drop down slow right in front of Ryan Branchew. Reclaim the race lead here tonight. Back to the front of the field once again, your race leader, Jim Thorndike. Ryan Branchew gonna try that switch. Oh my goodness. Was looking to try the switch, run wasn't there. Tried to come right back down behind Jim Thorndike and almost clipped that rear bumper. That could have spelled disaster for a lot of these drivers as they work their way off of turn number 4. Gonna cross the line to begin lap number 44 out of the 80 scheduled here in tonight's official race distance. Do want to take a minute to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. So if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or anybody else bringing you some great racing action back from the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're just casually stopping through or if you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't already, toss these drivers a thumbs up. Mixing it up at the front of the field now. Looks like a lot of the drivers content to run that bottom lane. We may see some green flag pit stops begin to work their way into the picture here. Last time on pit road, lap 22 from Kevin Burrows as well as Marshall Scully. So they're going to have to hit pit road before the drivers around them. Rest of your field on pit road right around the 15 lap ago mark here. Looks like these AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series cars can get upwards of 20 laps on the fuel and tires. So look for this to be a little bit of an extended run. We should see these drivers begin to hit pit road for what would be their first attempts at a green flag pit stop. We'll have to keep our eye on the pit road police who gets caught by that radar gun down there. Gotta be very careful of how you make your entry to pit road because it can dictate the strategy that you end up having to take if you want to come down for just a splash and go, or just just fuel, no tires, but yet you lock them up getting into your pit box. You're going to have to audible, going to have to switch that off to at least a 2-tire stop, possibly even a 4-tire stop. So your strategy is somewhat dependent on how you get to your box, but you still have to coordinate that somehow at the spur of the moment with the guys that you're trying to get around the track with. I'm sure there's lots of spotters moving around up there high above the speedway, bargaining for some help, for some information, how much you got left, when you coming, what you thinking of doing, that kind of thing. I know it goes on. You know it goes on. We hear the great radioactive segments brought to us by the great drivers and spotters in NASCAR world. So, pretty funny deal. I'm sure you can go check that out on iHeartRadio as well. Big shout out there to iHeartRadio on board that 28 of Ron Schutte right there in that 3rd position. Schutte running pretty tonight. Pretty. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Running pretty good. Let's just leave it there. Yeah, walk away. Very familiar Monster Energy machine now up inside that top 5. Andy Starcher cracking into the top 5 for the first time here tonight. We did see Starcher stay out under our very first caution of the night, but he did bring it down to pit road when pit road was open for him one more time. So essentially, this is the first time running inside the top 5, and there you can see that wounded 1 Pepsi machine of Greg Deist. He is just struggling, trying to somehow get some pace in that car. Being scored multiple laps down here tonight. Tough break for the driver behind that 1 machine. Greg Deist not having a good go here tonight at Daytona for your Daytona 200. It airs iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series, sponsored by Swift MotorSports. Take a brief moment to recognize and give a little bit of a tip of the cap and thank you out there to all the sponsors here in Swift Motorsports, not just the title sponsor here in the Arca Menards K&N Series, airs iRacingPaints, but a big time shout out to Performance Motorsports for their sponsoring of the Truck Series here in Swift, as well as RB Rigs Custom Computers, title sponsor of the Xfinity Series here in Swift Motorsports, as well as Hyperdrive Racing. Big time shout out to all of those sponsors here, all your title sponsors here in Swift Motorsports. Also some associate sponsors out there, Butt Kicker, as well as Mountain Mafia Kennels. That's a local bully kennel right here in Western North Carolina. You can go check them out. And while you're at it, go ahead and type in SwiftMotorsports.com. Go check these drivers out. Great series all across the board here for Swift Motorsports. All 4 of your NASCAR style cars. You've got these K&N machines, as well as the trucks, Xfinity and Cup cars, all under the Swift Motorsports umbrella. So head on over to SwiftMotorsports.com and maybe you'll find yourself out there on track mixing it up. Along with these drivers here, Jim Thorndike in the 59 continues to lead tonight's race, and he will slowly close in that door on leading the most laps led here tonight. He has already walked away with multiple points here tonight. Pole position in his back pocket. Of course, he has led a lap if he is going to lead the most laps. A point for that in his back pocket as well. Now looking to close out the final 2 big points. And that's the most laps led. And there you can see coming to haunt Kevin Burrows, having to come to pit road, staying out under that latest caution may not work out for Kevin Burrows. He's going to have to come to pit road, and he is all alone. Marshall Scully also very slow on the speedway. Scully now being scored down 1 lap after coming to pit road all by himself last time by. He is going to have to stay right here with this lead pack of drivers if he's going to want to do anything. Oh, and it looks like Chad Lancaster, he's going to break away for pit road this time by all alone. So your third driver coming solo to pit road, the 20 of Chad Lancaster. And now looks like Greg Deitch actually being scored that first car off of the lead lap in the 10th position. Lots of crazy action going on here tonight. Front of this field all mixed up right now at this point in time. Looks like we've only got 9 drivers left on your lead lap. That's 71 of Todd McGregor. There you can see McGregor making his way off of pit road. That's actually Lancaster. I apologize. There you can see Todd McGregor almost 30 seconds behind your race leader back in the 8th spot. McGregor gonna need some help if he's gonna try to get back to victory lane. Doesn't look like the back-to-back genie gonna happen for us tonight in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series live from Daytona International Speedway. You're watching the Daytona 200. Back at the front of the field with your race leaders, they're all nose to tail as they make their way off of turn number 2, back down the back stretch once again. Your top 6 all lined up nose to tail. Larry Poling gonna bring his 69 machine down to pit road with 25 laps to go. It looks like most of these drivers may be able to make it to the end with just this final stop, but who is going to be able to get it done on and off of pit road? Big time moment for these drivers. Any of these drivers running up inside this lead pack right now, if they get a pit road penalty, that is going to go ahead and put an end to their night. Ryan Branchew breaks for pit road. Ron Schutte as well as Jason Brantz, Andy Starcher, Cody Brown. Jim Thorndike weaves it back down and somehow gets it slowed up. That's going to leave Ron Schutte out on the track all alone in slow. Oh my goodness, something must have happened there on the entry to pit road that we did not catch. And there you can see that 63 going by, getting himself back on the lead lap of Ron Schutte. He is in trouble. He is a man all alone. No friends around him whatsoever. Ooh, this, I don't know. I am just not sure how this is going to work out for Ron Schutte, who's going to bring himself to pit road this time by. That's going to put the lead in the hands of this man right here, the 19 of Andy Starcher. He's trying to get himself back up to speed and up through the gears, but here comes Jason Branch, Ryan Branchew, right there on the outside lane, the 22 in the 6th, ganging up, working together, trying to get by that 19 Monster Energy machine down there on the inside lane. Looks like all of them made their green flag pit stops without any trouble. They're going to stay out on the track. Continue the run here with just 23 laps now remaining in tonight's 80 lap event here from Daytona International Speedway. Back just behind Starcher, you can see a few drivers struggling to try to get themselves back up in contention. There you can see your next runner Back in the 5th spot, Ron Schutte, and he is in some trouble. Here comes Chad Lancaster, Larry Poling, both of those drivers making solo pit stops. They're going to join this solo stop here, right here as well. That 28 iHeartRadio AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine has seen some better days, but going to be able to slot in right here with Poling and look to try to close in on that lead pack. 4-car breakaway at the front of this field. There you can see him right there. Jason Branch, Ryan Branchew, Andy Starcher, and Cody Brown. Cody just a little bit off pace there. You can see him, that last car on your screen. As I believe that it may be Kevin Burrows right there in that 23 machine. And yes, it is the 23 being scored, the first car down 1 lap. And Jason Branch coming to pit road that time by. Looks like these drivers may not have enough fuel in the tank. Branch down onto pit road just a handful of laps ago, and he is already back down pit road yet again. That's going to leave Branchew, Starcher, and Brown battling for that top spot. Brown falling to the wayside, though, 2.5, almost 3 seconds back, as we've got a 2-car breakaway at the front of the field. Starcher is your race leader. That 23 second car in line is your first car off of the lead lap. Kevin Burrows trying to get himself back on the lead lap. Only has to pass one more driver to make that happen. But looks like he's also kind of content to sit and run right here and help these two drivers further their calls here tonight. Starcher in that 19 Monster Energy AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine looking pretty nice, pretty clean here. No issues, no moments for Starcher. No moments, or real big moments, I should say, for Ryan Branchew. He was at the front of the field mixing things up a little bit earlier in tonight's race. Looked to lead a few laps. He had done so. Got shuffled back through the field just a little bit. It went through our green flag pit cycle. And now Branchew finds himself behind a lap machine, but still running second in the speed charts. Seven seconds back. You can find your third place runner, and as we've clicked off the laps here and worked our way under 20 laps to go, let's run through your top 5 here tonight with a few of the driver highlights. Leading tonight's Daytona 200 with just 19 laps to go out of Hyperdrive Motorsports, Castaway, West Virginia's very own Andy Starcher. Singing that orange and black number 6 machine from 4X Racing, the 18-year-old from Toledo, Ohio, Ryan Branchew, looks to put that 6 machine 1 spot higher and up to the top spot from the 2nd position. 11 seconds back from your 2nd place driver, you'll find this man right here. The 17 of Cody Brown from Merca, Illinois, the Swift Motorsports driver. Good solid run for Brown. Back in the 4th spot, there you can see that 28 of Ron Schutte, as he was one of those solo pit road goers. He is at the head of a 3-car pack. Just behind him, tucked up, you can find that 20 from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. The 31-year-old Chad Lancaster trying to pilot his 20 machine a little bit further inside the top 5, and we'll go ahead and give him an honorable mention, running right there in 6th spot, just off of a Lancaster, just 21 seconds back from your race leader. But more importantly, he is right there knocking on the door of a top 4. The 69 of Poling sitting in the 6th position. trying to look around the track, see what we've got going on. We do have a little bit of, I would say, a battle, but more like a mix-up right here. Jim Thorndike, an early race leader, as well as that 71 of Todd McGregor. Both of those drivers mixing things up at the front of the field had some trouble on pit road, and they have fell behind the 8 ball, now doing all they can to try to keep themselves on the lead lap. I do believe this is a calculated maneuver, not just by one, but both of those drivers try to keep themselves on the lead lap, splitting up the run from your race leaders. That's going to slow them down just a little bit. That is definitely helping out Cody Brown right now. That gap is shrinking. Brown is on his way now, under 3 seconds back with just 15 laps to go. How long will Thorndike and McGregor keep their machines out here in front of your race leaders? There's nothing that says you can't run hard. Even when you're almost 1 lap down, these drivers are doing exactly what they need to do, and that is stay in front of the race leader, just in case we do see that pesky late race caution. Now Thorndike looks like he may drop to the bottom. Nope, gonna stay up at the top of the speedway, lead that outside lane, but unfortunately for Thorndike, it's not for the race lead, it's just to try to keep himself on the lead lap. Lot going on here tonight as we slowly bring ourselves to the end of tonight's race. And there you can see Ron Schutte making his way by Cody Brown, and Brown struggling. Brown losing 3 spots as not just Schutte but Lancaster in polling. They all made their way by. Can this 4-car pack somehow close the distance? They've got 25 seconds to make up in just 14 laps. That is going to be a big time ask, but can this pack of 4 get it done against this pack at the front, battling for position? Ryan Branchew, 2nd car in line, but is your race leader Jim Thorndike still fighting hard to stay on the lead lap? 3rd car in line, that Mountain Dew AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine of Todd McGregor, last week's race winner back at Dover. This isn't the concrete monster mile no more. This is the high banked, high speeds here at Daytona International Super Speedway. And McGregor finds himself 1st car being scored off the lead lap in the lucky dog position. He is praying for a late race caution, and as well that 59 of Jim Thorndike, he's praying for a caution right now. Thorndike does have himself back on the lead lap, but right in front of your race leader. Thorndike continues to keep his GTR simulator AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine up in front of that 6 of Ryan Branchew. And there you can see that 63 of Marshall Scully struggling a little bit more, and still continuing those connection issues. Jason Branch gonna fall to the wayside. Branch now gonna fall off of the lead lap and back behind Todd McGregor. So McGregor will keep that lucky dog position for the time being. Still nose to tail at the front of the field. We've got back markers with lead lap cars all tucked in with each other. Man at the front leading this long train of cars. That 59 of Thorndike is scored on the lead lap but just barely at the tail end of it, because that is your race leader right behind him. That's 6 of Ryan Branchew. And what will Andy Starcher do? We can see Starcher in that Monster Energy machine sitting right there, the 4th car in line on the bottom lane. When will he make a move, and will Todd McGregor be willing to jump out there? Will Todd McGregor be willing to go and maybe help pull that 19 up in front of Branchew for the race win? We'll have to wait and see how good of friends they are. Maybe Kevin Burrows might come in and play a hand late in the going. Maybe Starcher jumps to the outside, and that's going to give sorry, I was trying to look at Jason Branch and see if that connection issues were going away, and it looks like they are still there to stay. There you can see him with that disappearing act once again, but wondering, will Burrows go with Starcher? If Starcher makes that move, because you're going to have some help. You're not going to be able to make your way up and around 3 cars all alone at this late in the going. You may have been able to do it when there was multiple drivers stacked up down there on the inside lane. You may have been able to make up quite a bit of ground, but now with just 4 to 5 cars lined up on that inside lane, you don't have that checkup as much as we had earlier in tonight's race. Drivers able to stay on the gas a little bit harder, stay in the draft a lot longer, and we should see business about to pick up. Just 8 laps remaining in tonight's Daytona 200, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Daytona International Super Speedway. Swift Motorsports AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series putting on one heck of a show. These drivers have gone quite a bit, but have not gone the distance just yet. Who has enough fuel in the tank? All these drivers inside of your top 3, and that's including Ron Schutte back there in the 3rd spot, 30 seconds behind your race leader. All of those drivers last on to pit road on lap 56 or 57. Do they have enough to make it to the end? We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out and how it all shakes out. Just 7 drivers left on your lead lap as Jim Thorndike continues to lead this field and continues to keep himself on the lead lap, just in front of that 6 Serve Pro AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series Impala. And I do apologize, that's a Dodge out there being piloted by Ryan Branchew. Branchew going with a Dodge here in the Arca Menards Series. And now your 2 race leaders are packed up at the bottom of the speedway. When will Starcher go? What will Starcher do? What move is he contemplating back there running in that 2nd spot? You know he's got to be thinking of something, because no driver is just content to go 200 miles in a race and not give themselves an opportunity to win, especially when they are this close and in a position that they could walk away with the win. And Jason Branch, with those connection issues, jumps down in line just in front of Starcher. Starcher looks like he's trying to avoid running behind him. Starcher back to the bottom while Branch is stuck to that high side. Looks like everybody going to make their way around Branch. Nobody really comfortable running or pushing with that 22, with some of that Magic Man action going on. Now you're 2. Oh my goodness, Andy Starcher all over the speedway right now, trying to find out where he wants to run, top, bottom. He's going to go to the top. Now back to the bottom, slot in just between McGregor in that 63 of Marshall Scully. Scully scored off of the lead lap. My goodness, we've got a battle for the race lead back in row number 2. Business picking up. Bump draft's gonna get a little bit harder. Gap's gonna get a little bit tighter. How long will these drivers play around with it? Starcher has pushed that 71 of McGregor clear. He's gonna jump to the outside, and Thorndike gonna jump to the bottom. Branchew looking to go 3 wide. No, he stays with Starcher 3 wide for the top spot just here. Oh, and contact between Starcher and Branchew. They get into the outside wall. Branchew damaged to the bottom of the speedway. Starcher gonna continue on, but heavily damaged into that latest incident. And Ryan Branchew, oh my goodness, Branchew has a broken left front wheel. He's gonna bring it to pit road, and that is gonna put an end to his night with just 3 laps remaining. Does Starcher have enough gap built? Can Ron Schutte in that iHeartRadio AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine make up the ground? Can he make up the time? Looks like he is closing quite fast here. Just 30 seconds back. 34 seconds off of your race leader. Can Schutte somehow pilot that 28 up and around? Andy Starcher, contact between Starcher and Branchew, and that has put an end to Branchew's day. Starcher able to continue on here tonight. Popsicle sticks for that 19 Monster Energy machine. Can he bring that Chevy Impala back around one more time? Lap cars fighting just in front of your race leader. There you can see Todd McGregor, Kevin Burrows, and oh my goodness, McGregor gets into Starcher. Starcher goes around on the final lap. He's down and across pit road. Oh my goodness, gotta wonder if that's gonna be a black flag penalty coming across and clipping that cone. Starcher damaged. Can he get around? Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a matter of closing rate. Just 150 miles an hour for that 19 of Andy Starcher. Does he have enough gap built to get back around the speedway? Contact with the lap machine of Todd McGregor, last week's race winner, and indeed it does look like Starcher is gonna have the gap. He is gonna have the ability to make it back to the line, but that 19 heavily damaged, sparking on the speedway under the lights here at Daytona International Speedway, off of turn 4 for the final time, coming across the line, beaten and battered, but still capturing the flag here tonight, walking away with the race win. What a way to end tonight's race. Oh my goodness, that could have been big. Now we'll check in with this battle back for the second and third spot. Your final podium position is gonna be determined here. 17 looks to the outside of Schutte. Schutte looks to the bottom. And there you have it. The 28 gonna cross the line first. The 17 relegated back to the third car. Third and final podium spot. And just on the outside looking in was that 69 of Larry Poling. Heck of a job out there by that Quaker State driver inside that 69. Big time shout out to Larry Poling and all that he was able to do here tonight, driving himself up inside the top 5, up 14 spots from where he started tonight's race, and it looks like already back onto pit road is your race leader. So with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break and get things set up for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And back trackside here from Daytona International Superspeedway as the engines have come to an halt. Silence once again here at the Speedway, except for a little bit of post-race celebrations going on down there in the infield. With all that being said, let's see if we can't catch up and have a few words with some of the podium drivers here tonight. Let's see if we can't grab a word with the driver walking away in the third spot here tonight. Cody Brown and Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going?
Going pretty good. How about yourself, my man? Good, solid finish for you, walking away with a third place.
Yeah, it was a crazy up and down night. Led there for a little bit and just taking 3 wide there, got in the wall, but yeah, got back up there.
Yeah, you had a little bit of an up and down. You just said it here. You were up at the front, trying to make that outside lane work for multiple laps. You were right there at the front of the field. Then you set it right there into the outside wall. You fell back just a little bit. You were able to slide in after that green flag pit stop, though, with some good drivers and able to make your way back to the front. At any point in time when you were packed up with the 28 and the 69, did you think that these were the guys that you were going to get back to the front of the field with?
Oh, I don't know. That little 2 liters there were pretty gone. I saw them there kind of catching us there. I was kind of praying for a caution there, maybe get the pack back up and have a chance at the win. But, yeah, we were fast there and managed to get a third out of it, so I'll take it.
Well, Cody, my man, third place, nothing to hang your hat about here in the Swift MotorSports AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards series, especially at a tough track like this. A lot of people think Daytona is pretty easy, as well as Talladega, but you're a very busy driver inside of the car there, especially here at the plate tracks. So nothing to hang your hat about, man. And, yeah, I mean, a good, solid third-place finish for you tonight. So with that being said, I want to say congratulations on a great podium finish for you tonight. And before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 17 machine?
Shout out to Swift for putting this on. Shout out you for broadcasting it. And shout out to DGSRacing.com. He painted this car. So thanks, everybody.
Well, all right, there you have it. Few final parting words from the driver walking away in that third spot here tonight. That was the 17 of 17 of Cody Brown. And that will bring us to, now we'll see if we can't get in a word with the driver that finished second here tonight inside that 28 machine. iHeartRadio on board with you. Ron Schutte, it's Dave in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, new paint scheme in another podium. Got to feel good.
Yeah, should have finished a little bit better, but I'll take second. I think we could have contended for the win. The 4X group there was working well together in the beginning.
Absolutely, and at the beginning we seen a lot of drivers kind of content to run the bottom. We didn't see a lot of drivers jump to that outside lane. Was that kind of the plan for you and the 4X crew to kind of just maintain and be easy and be safe?
Yeah, we were just trying to stay all together and keep our noses clean.
Trying to look at the point standings coming into tonight's race and not seeing you inside the top 10, but another solid run for you here tonight. I believe that very well may bring you somewhere right up inside the top 10. So looking forward here, Ron, how are you looking at Chicagoland and New Hampshire, the next 2 tracks on the schedule?
I mean, consistent finishes, top 3s, 5s. I mean, if I can win, that'd be awesome.
All right. Well, we do hope you do grab one of those wins here coming soon. You have been up here, so you already got a podium interview done and out the way, so why not? Let's just go ahead and improve that second spot one more up to the top spot, and we'll get us a post-race victory lane celebration and interview with you. But with all that being said, congratulations, hats off with another solid run for you and the 28 crew, walking away in second here tonight in the Daytona 200. Before we let you go, Ron, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that 28?
Yeah, I'd like to thank iHeartRadio for coming on, 4X Serve Pro, Dynamark, Great House, KC Design, Functional Fitness 615, and the whole 4X group. We really worked well together tonight, and hope this keeps on going the way it's going.
All right, Ron. Well, again, congratulations, my man, and we'll look forward to catching up with you a little later on throughout the rest of the season. There you have it. Final few parting words from the driver walking away in the second spot here tonight, as it looks like the timing and scoring having a little bit of a fit down there. So we'll see if that doesn't work itself right on out. Man, oh man, I tell you what, it has been one heck of a night, one heck of a job by the man, walking away with the top spot here tonight, taking the race win. Andy Starchard's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do, Dave.
Hey, man, finally got that Monster Energy machine to victory lane. How you feeling after a wild one here tonight?
Feeling pretty good. I think we talked a week or so ago, and I said that I really do not like restrictor plate racing, but was able to pull it out tonight. It was close all night. Then there at the end, I don't know exactly what happened. I haven't been able to review the replay, but I don't know what happened during the pit stop, the last pit stop. But something happened, and a couple of the drivers got down a lap, and I went in like, I don't know, 6th or something like that. Next thing I know, I was in the top 3. Then I was in the top 2. So just kept pushing. And there at the end, well, a couple laps from the end there, had a little bump with one of the other drivers. I don't know exactly what happened there either, but I'm going to review that as well. But it was a good race overall, and to come out with from Daytona with the win, that feels pretty good, considering I don't really care for Daytona.
I was going to say, well, does it change your mind at all looking forward throughout the rest of the week? Because you and the rest of the Swift Motorsports drivers, you're here at Daytona for the rest of the week. So Daytona going to be one of those love-hate relationships for a lot of drivers this week. With one win already in the bag for you this week, does it change your mentality as you go towards the trucks or even further to the Xfinity Series?
Well, I do race the trucks. I don't race the Xfinity or the Cup, but I do race the trucks. I'm going to look at it pretty much the same. I'm just going to go at it the same way I did tonight, not really thinking that I'm going to come out with a win or a top 3 or top 5. I'm just going to do the best I can and try to take advantage of some of the advantages that happen along the way and hope for the best.
All right, Andy. Well, again, congratulations on a great race win. That should do you some justice in the point standings. You came into tonight's race just 22 points back from Jason Branch. Branch having some trouble here tonight, so you're going to gain some ground here, especially with that race win. So hats off and congratulations, not just for the race win, but gaining in the points as well. Before we let you go, enjoy the celebrations that come along with the race win. Want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that Monster Energy machine?
Again, just thanks Swift Motorsports, Justin Gann, putting on a good league, good place to race, and taking the time to build the league and get the drivers that we need. And thanks to you guys, Turn 3 Racing, broadcasting and making it so people can watch us. Appreciate it.
All right, my man. Well, you go enjoy this race win, and we'll look forward to catching up with you maybe tomorrow night and a little bit later on throughout the season.
All right. Sounds good, man. Have a good night.
There you go. Very humbled words from your race leader. Still not too high on the high banks here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Still not quite his cup of tea, but now a restrictor plate winner here in Swift Motorsports. Andy Starcher walks away with the Daytona 200 win here in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards series. And man, what a crazy little run to the end that we had here tonight, race fans. We had a little bit of a scuffle between two of your top two runners. We also had a scuffle with your race winner, almost falling victim to some trouble on the speedway. With all that being said, my goodness, race fans, as I said, what a night it has been. I'm telling you, I don't know if we have enough pizza and Pepsi for me to last it out for the rest of the week here. It is going to be some crazy action again tomorrow night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented to you by Swift Motorsports. And man, I can't wait for that one to get underway as well. That's going to be a hot and heavy battle as well. And oh, it looks like the producers have went ahead and hit those buttons, so you know what that familiar sound means. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results for your Daytona 200 here in Swift Motorsports AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series. Walking away with the race win, the first win of the season, the 19 of Andy Starcher. Coming home in second place, the 28 of Ron Schutte. Cody Brown gonna pilot his 17 machine home in the third spot. Fourth place goes to Larry Poling. The 59 of Jim Thorndike gonna round out your top five, while Jason Branch slots home in sixth. Seventh place goes to the 23 of Kevin Burrows, while the 20 of Chad Lancaster finishes in the eighth spot. Todd McGregor gonna walk away from the track here tonight in the ninth spot. And rounding out your top 10, the 63 of Marshall Scully. Finishing back in the 11th spot, 2 laps down here tonight, the 1 of Greg Deitch. Ryan Branchew gonna finish tonight's race 3 laps down after being so close to the race lead at the end of tonight's Daytona 200. Branchew gonna bring his 6 home in the 12th spot. John McMillan Jr. and John McMillan Sr. caught up in the same race incident. They're gonna walk away 13th and 14th. Early trouble here tonight for the 2 of Shane Bliss and the 31 of Donald Bennett. That's gonna put Bliss into that 15th spot, and Bennett gonna walk away in the final spot in tonight's running order, back there in the 16th position. Want to give a big shout out and salute to Race Control here tonight. Roy Fernandez as well as Gary Wells up there in Race Control, keeping all these drivers straight, keeping the action straight on the track. So a big time shout out for everything they do behind the scenes, keeping things nice and smooth. Here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. Whew, another good one in the books. Race number 7 now in the bag for Swift Motorsports. And with that being said, race fans, if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. Whether you're just casually stopping through or you're the dedicated fan, friend, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there'd be no us. And with all that being said, it's a new day. It's a new year. Stay safe. Stay loved. Until next time, my friends, we'll meet you in Turn 3.